internet. Well, it's over. For now. The first part of season 3 of One Punch Man has finished, and yeah. Woof. And while the rest of the internet can find any and every problem, I think I found 3 core ones. So rock with me while I go over what I think went wrong and slowly crash out on the fact that another Golden Goose is losing its luster for the 2nd season in a row. No more stalling. If this is your kind of content, I'd appreciate it liking us up. Let's get it. Okay, let's start with the animation. Because not only was this a scene, but so was this, and this, and this. The animators over at JC Staff seem to be holding that hard left turn on One Punch Man. Because with series like Danmachi and a certain magical index under their belt, this one should have been a walk in the park. I'm not saying that you have to do exactly what Madhouse did, just copy a few of their answers from the homework. But no, for some reason we seem to have taken the low road on this series and now the audience has to suffer through less frames than an episode from Japanese ghost stories. It only adds insult to injury when we do get scenes in which the animators show that they can still pop the fuck off. Moments like this. And like this. They may only last a few seconds each, but just the glimpse of them makes me look at the rest of the series and go, what happened? We've seen worse. We've seen much better. Staying on the animation for one more point, let's talk about character design. Because it's not just how things move, it's how the characters themselves are drawn. The stenciling for the characters for the majority of the season feels overly simplistic, flat. The line work feels stiff until there are too many lines and then it just looks like a mess. There's very little variation in thickness, very simple textures, almost no grit. Characters that are supposed to feel imposing or exaggerated end up looking like a second-year art student's doodles. That's not good. Season 1 leaned hard into contrast. Heroes looked heroic. Monsters looked grotesque. Faces could snap from deadpan to badass in a single cut. Here, a lot of that detail seems lost. It feels like the shading is run-of-the-mill, facial expressions are lacking. Silhouettes are our moments to take a break on the detail once again. It's not that the designs are bad, just basic. And basic is the last thing this series should ever be. One Punch Man thrives on extremes. When everyone is drawn like the animators were just looking to clock out that day, the impact, both comedic and dramatic, just doesn't hit. Now that the elephant's been addressed, let's move on to the final aspect of the season that really stood out to me. The humor. Because one thing I noticed throughout season 3 is that during a lot of the comedic moments, the show just doesn't let them breathe. Jokes come up, land, or should land, and then the scene immediately rushes past them. There's no pause, no beat, no space for the audience to actually sit with what they're seeing. And that's a huge problem for One Punch Man. The comedy in the series has always thrived on timing. Deadpan reactions, awkward silences, letting the absurd visual sit on screen just long enough for your brain to catch up and laugh. The season feels like it's allergic to that kind of restraint. At times, it honestly feels like the director just doesn't trust the joke, or worse, doesn't care about it. Like the humor was included because it has to be, not because anybody wanted it there. Moments that are clearly meant to linger barely get a second before the camera cuts away. The dialogue moves on, or the scene shifts entirely. And when you rush comedy like that, even good jokes start to fall flat. Not because they're poorly written, but because they were never given a chance to land. Oh well, I guess. What do you guys think? You gonna watch the second part of season 3? Or is this where you drop the series for good? Let me know in the comments. I'll catch you in the next one. Later!